What is going on YouTube? It's your boy Spanko, and today I'm back with a for hire deck profile. Now, if you guys are part of my Discord, you guys would know that I posted on my Discord and said, hey, would you guys like to see a for hire? Because I have this really cool build for it. It's a go second. It's like a blind second for hire deck profile. Now, I'm pretty sure this deck naturally wants to go second anyways. So what I did was I put in some cards. I incorporated some cards, which actually helped this deck beat the meta in terms of like breaking meta boards, and on top of breaking meta boards, it can OTK very easily with this deck, with this like specific build, right? So that's what this build is aimed to do, is just to break your opponent's board, and then after you break your opponent's board, just to OTK. So that's what this deck is really meant to do. So like I said, I did ask that in the Discord, so if you guys haven't already joined the Discord, it will be in the link in the description below. Check out the Discord. We do a lot of deck theory and like deck crafting over there. If you guys have any questions, I just want to make it more of a community. I want to make this channel a lot like a community. So if you guys want to check that out, check the Discord. It is in the description below. And if you like these deck profiles, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more deck profiles. Now, this is a 40 card main deck. We'll get into the main deck right here. This is a 40 card main deck, and I didn't want to make it above 40 because you want to see your for hires as much as possible. It sucks seeing multiples of the same one, to be completely honest with you, but you still have to play 3 of some of them because some of them are just way too important. So we'll get into the profile here, and we'll start off with 3 of the best one in my opinion. Beat Bladesman for hire. You're gonna notice that this whole entire deck is Mega 10 reprints because this deck is actually very accessible, and it's actually a budget deck, to be completely honest with you. Now, once we get into the extra deck, maybe some stuff will be a little bit more expensive, but again, with the reprints and stuff, this deck is actually very budget in my opinion. Like, all these cards are pretty much commons other than Beat, which is like maybe like $2 or something like that. Nothing crazy. So triple Beat, if you guys don't know, Beat is basically a rotor of the deck. All of the for hire monsters have the same effect, where during your main phase you can special summon one monster for hire from your hand except for itself. So this will let you summon any other for hire monster from your hand, and then all of them have a different effect when another for hire monster is summoned. So this one, when another for hire monster is summoned, it gets to add a for hire monster from your deck to your hand, and that's obviously really good. It's the Rhoda. Then I'm playing triple Bravo. Bravo's pretty good. He's a 1900 level 4, and the reason I decided to play 3 of him actually is because he boosts all for hire monsters by 500 attack and defense until the end of the turn when another for hire monster is special summoned. Now that may not seem great, but it helps you facilitate your OTKs a lot better, to be honest with you, without going into Borrowsword. Now you can obviously go into Borrowsword really easily in this deck, but without having to go to Borrowsword, this helps you facilitate your OTKs. Triple Seal Strategist for hire. Now Strategist is the one, again, they all have the same effect. During your main phase you can special summon one, and if this card is special summoned, you can target one monster in your graveyard or for a higher monster in your graveyard, and you can add it to your hand. So it adds another one to your hand, which is obviously really good. And then the thing is, if something's in the graveyard, for example, you normal summon, you get another for higher monster, what will happen is you'll get one back from your hand, and then you can use that second for higher monster to special summon that. So you can easily see how this deck spams monsters really quickly. Then for the 2s, I play 2 Helmer. Helmer is actually pretty good. Again, it has the same thing, special summon for a higher monster, but when another one is special summoned, you can actually discard a card and then draw a card. This is actually really good because you can use this in tandem with Seal a lot of the time, and sometimes if you draw multiple of the same for higher monster, you can actually just discard the other one to just draw another card, which could actually help you out your opponent's like board, right? So Helmer is pretty good to have. I play double Recon. Recon pops back row. He targets one set, and then play double Dompa. Dompa pops face-ups when another one is special summon. So these guys do basically the opposites of each other, but they're obviously really good. Good 2-ofs in my opinion. You never really want to draw too many of these. Like, opening these ones kind of suck when you draw multiple, which is why you only play 2. You still need to play multiple of each though, because you want to see as many for higher monsters in your hand as possible. You just don't want to draw like double Dompa. You'd rather draw like 1-1-1, like, you know what I mean? So that's why double Dompa is really good. And for the last for hire, I'm gonna call these the babies, double Philo. The reason I call these the babies is because you have bigger ones that actually don't have the effect where you can special summon one from your hand, and I'll get into that later. But so double Philo, during your main phase, you special summon one. When another one is special summoned, target one in your graveyard, and you can special summon it in defense position, but then you place it at the bottom of the deck when it leaves the field. So this is really good in the sense that it gets you another free special summon from your graveyard, and then on top of that, when you link summon, let's say, they won't go to your graveyard, they'll actually go back into your deck, which is really good in that sense. So double Philo, really good. Now for your, I guess, I'm gonna call these the bigger boss monsters, I guess, of the for hire deck. I'm playing double Raphael. I really wanted to play 3 of them, but the thing is, Raphael, again, with this deck, it's a going second build, so you don't want to necessarily play 3 of them. Now, he is the biggest attack monster in the deck, and what he does is if he's special summoned, you can excavate the top card of your deck equal to the number of for hire monsters you control, with different names, right? So if you control like a Raphael plus a Dompa plus a Philo, right? So that's going to be 3 different names. You excavate 3 off the top of your deck, and then you can add one of them to your hand, and then you shuffle the rest back into your deck. So that's really good because he's obviously a +1 on summon. And then on top of that, what he does is during your opponent's turn, when your opponent activates a monster effect, it's actually just any turn, it's a quick effect. When your opponent activates a monster effect, you can discard it for hire card and negate the activation. So this is a good negate going first, and he's really good going first. But again, because this deck is mostly to go second, you don't want to max out on him. And for the 1-ofs, I'm playing 1 Dyna. Dyna on summon banishes cards from your opponent's graveyard up to the number of for hire monsters you control, so with different names. So again, if you have Dyna plus Philo plus like a Seal, that's 3 cards, so you can banish 3 from your opponent's graveyard, which is actually really good in this meta, to be honest with you. Also on top of that, what he does is your opponent's monsters cannot target other for hire monsters for attacks except for him, so he's kind of a protection in that sense. 1 Wiz and 1 Sajida, or Sagita, I don't know how to say it, I think Sajida. So basically these do the same thing but opposites. This one, what will it let you do is you can actually gain 500 life points for each for hire monster you control with a different name, and this one burns your opponent. So these are really good because especially in time situations, the only reason I play 1-ofs is because 1 Wiz is actually a really big booty, like 2800 and then 2400 for Sagita is really good, so I like that. But also it helps you in time just win games. And then this one actually is kind of like Raphael, but Raphael negates monster effects. This one negates spell card effects. So you discard it for a hire card, you negate a spell card. And then this one protects your monsters from card effects. So your opponent can't target any of your for hire monsters with card effects except for him. So these pretty much, these big guys over here provide protection as well as some negation in that sense. But that's pretty much it for the for hire lineup. Okay, so you don't want to draw too many of these, which is why you don't play too many. The thing is with these ones, they don't let you special summon, and they're also higher levels, so you don't want to open a hand of like 4 of these, right? You'd rather have to see the smaller ones and then draw into this, or summon this at the end of your entire combo pretty much. So that's it for the for hire monsters. Then because like I said, we are going second, we are blinding second, I am playing double Nibiru. This card is insane, man. You guys know how insane Nibiru is. So double Nibiru because you don't want your opponent to combo, and even if they do combo, it's okay because they'll combo and then you'll Nibiru them, which is really good. And then outing the token is actually not very difficult in this deck. So double Nibiru, double Tenyi Spirit Vishuddha. I really like this card. So basically, even going first, it's not horrible. If you control no effect monsters, which means if you control no monsters as well, you can special summon him. So 1, he's a free special summon. On top of that, you can make your Tenyi link 1, and then you banish him from your graveyard to bounce a card your opponent controls back to the hand. So that's why Vishuddha is really good going second, because you know you control no monsters. A lot of the time, if your opponent, let's say you're playing against a Dragon Link, right? If he ends on an Abyss, Abyss can only negate cards face up on the field. They can't negate in the graveyard, for example. So you can Vishuddha banish, and if your opponent makes like a Boral Sword, or not a Boral Sword, sorry, a Boral Savage or something, then Boral Savage, he'll have to negate with that, and at that point you baited out a negate, right? Plus you have a monster on the field. So that's why Vishuddha I think is really good at 2. Same thing with Dino Wrestler, Prankatrops. These I play all at 2-ofs. You could argue to play 3 Nibiru, and don't get me wrong, you could. It's just the only problem is when you see it later in the game, it's not great. And then on top of that, I wanted variety. I never wanted to open multiple of the same card, because it does happen a lot, and whenever it happens, I just sit there thinking, oh my god, if I drew, instead of drawing double Nibiru, if I drew Nibiru plus like a Bravo, or Nibiru plus a B, it would have been so good, right? So you never want to draw more than 1 of everything, which is why I think the 2-of ratios are actually insanely good. And like seeing doubles of like, especially these going second card kind of suck, because when you see doubles of them, they do nothing for you, right? Also, if your opponent forces you to go first and you're playing another deck that wants to go for second, for example, opening multiple cards that help you go second doesn't do much for you, right? So again, you would rather open your for hires. These cards just help you basically out your opponent's boards going second. So onto the spell cards, I am playing triple Mind Control. Again, because we're blinding second, Mind Control is insanely good against any matchup pretty much. Thing is with Mind Control is it can actually take set cards too, and I know this is going to be really random, but if you play something like Guru Control, you can actually Mind Control your opponent's Guru before they do anything, and if they don't negate this, then you're actually like in the clear. It's so good, Mind Control. So triple Mind Control, and then against obviously combo, it's really good, because if you, let's say Vishuddha, and you bait out like a Savage negate, then you can like Mind Control, and then you'll bait out the Abyss negate, or if you have something else, you'll bait out the Abyss negate first, and then you can Mind Control your opponent's monsters, right? So everything in here is essentially to break boards. Same thing with Instant Fusion. You guys already know, you guys should already know, Thousand Eyes Restrict is the best target for Instant Fusion right now. So you make Thousand Eyes, helps you beat your opponents going second. Then I play the 2 for hire Mayhems. So Mayhem is pretty good because you can target for higher monster in your graveyard and special summon in defense position. I did want to play 3, but the problem is with 3 is it's a once per turn kind of card, so I didn't want to max it out because I didn't want to see double. So instead of playing 3, I decided to play 2 Mayhem and then 1 Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn essentially does the same thing, but obviously more versatility with Monster Reborn. You can summon from your opponent's graveyard, you can summon different cards, they don't have to be a for hire card from your graveyard, so something like that. And opening 1 or 1 of these obviously isn't bad because you can summon multiple monsters. Then just for the 1 of, I play 1 Rhoda just to search your beat. I know it's weird because beat is actually the only target in this deck for Rhoda, but beat is that important where you really want to play Rhoda for beat. And then last but not least, you are playing triple Call by the Grave. Now, Call by the Grave, I know in a go second deck is kind of weird, like why are you playing triple Call by the Grave? Call by the Grave is actually really good because even going second, if your opponent, let's say, is playing Orchist and they have a Babel set, right, and they want to like Dingirsu you or something like that, then you can Call by the Grave your opponent's Dingirsu. Also, against the striker matchup, having Called by the Grave is really good because once you get rid of your opponent's like striker, like Kagari or Shizuku or whatever they have on the board, they're going to want to get Ray back, right? So instead of getting Ray back, Called by the Grave will help you through that. So obviously, I think that's the reason why I think Called by the Grave is really good. Otherwise, you can take it out and play more going second cards, but this Call by the Grave is actually really good going second. But the thing is, if your opponent forces you to go first, at least this is pretty good going first as well. Also, I should mention that's it for the main deck. It's a 40 card main deck, no trap card. Again, like I said, it's a going second deck, so no trap cards in the main deck, and it's 40 cards. So going off to the extra deck, you are playing double Folgo Justice for Hire. I did not want to max out triple of him. The thing is, you don't need triple of him. Double is more than enough. I'm pretty sure you only make, realistically, you're going to be making 1, and then you're going to try to OTK. Also, that's another reason why you don't play Dark Ruler No More in the main deck. Dark Ruler No More is an amazing card, but you can't OTK under Dark Ruler No More. And the thing is, this deck doesn't make boards where you can actually just sit on them for a turn. You really just want to OTK your opponent. That's why you don't play Dark Ruler No More. But yeah, double Folgo, really good card. If you guys don't know what it does, I'll show it off over here for you guys. So it cannot be used as a link material. If this card is link summoned, you can special summon 1 monster for hire with a different name from the 3 monsters used to link summon from your deck in defense positions. So basically, if you guys didn't catch that, you can special summon 1 for hire monster from your deck, but it has to be different type than the 3 monsters you used to summon this essentially. If a card your opponent controls would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can actually just draw 1 card. Then if you control 3 or more for hires with different names, draw 2 additional cards. So this card can get you a draw 3, and honestly, if you like again, if you're attacking into something and then your opponent, you know, their card is about to get destroyed, Folgo will get you a free draw in that sense. So Folgo is really good. This with Bravo is also really good because Bravo makes him a 2900 monster. So Folgo is really, really good. Then I play 1 Topologic Trisbana. I think this card is really good going second. Again, against back row decks, you can make this and banish all your opponent's back row. I should also mention with Folgo, the thing is, if you summon a for hire monster with Folgo, it actually doesn't negate their effects. So you can actually summon something like a Bravo from deck with Folgo and then activate the Bravo to special summon another card. So that's why Folgo, in my opinion, is really good. But yeah, Topologic Bomber, again, really good against the back row heavy decks and can help you actually OTK as well because you do inflict a little bit of burn damage. Also really good in time. 1 Nightmare Unicorn, 1 Phoenix, and 1 Cerberus. Just a little Nightmare package. Nightmare Unicorn, surprisingly, I don't like playing it on a lot of decks because I feel like it takes too many resources. But in a deck like this where you can spam monsters, Unicorn is really, really good. And then obviously the Nightmare is just really easy to summon. And then also really good to go into with like Mind Control and stuff. When your opponent gives you random cards with Mind Control, the Nightmare monsters are really good. 1 Lambda, just because it's a generic rank 2. What I would actually play instead of Lambda, if you guys had, I personally don't have, is the BLS Link monster because that's really easy to summon in this deck, and the BLS Link monster is actually pretty good. So if you guys don't have a Lambda, or if you guys have the BLS monster, replace Lambda for it. If not, just play Lambda. If you don't even have Lambda, play Beat Cop. Like, it doesn't matter, just a generic Link 2. 1 Underclock Taker, another kind of generic Link 2, a little bit less generic than Lambda, but it helps you OTK. Double Link Karibo. The reason you play double is because you play the 1000 Eyes Restrict, so Link Karibo is really good in that sense. Also, your Philo, if you guys didn't notice, your Philo is also a level 1, so worst case scenario, you can make Link Karibo with your Philo. So that's that. 1 Monk of the Tenyi, again, for the Vishudas, Monk of the Tenyi, it's a really good going second combo. 1 Boral Sword and 1 Boral Load. I said that backwards, but 1 Boral Load and 1 Boral Sword just to help you OTK and out big monsters that you can't actually usually out. The things with this deck is, like I said, it's a fairly budget deck. As you guys can see, like, this got reprinted. This might be a little bit high, but you can have budget options. This got reprinted as well, I'm pretty sure. American, it's maybe like a $15 ultra rare, so it's not even horrible. So this is actually a very budget extra deck in that sense, because if you get the different rarities, it's actually pretty budget. So it's not very, very expensive, but that's it for there. And then the double 1000 Eyes Restrict for the instant fusion targets. 1000 eyes restrict is insanely good. The other option is the millennium eyes restrict. If you guys are forced to go first, at least you can make millennium eyes, but I'm not a huge fan of millennium eyes, but again, that's just an option for you guys. So what's a Spanko video without a side deck? Now I'm going to tell you guys right now that this side deck hasn't gone through a lot of testing. In theory, this side deck should be pretty good, so I'll show you guys what I think. I'll show you guys the side deck first and tell you guys what I think. So 1 order and double anti-spell. Now the only spell card you really play in this deck is mind control. That's really impactful, and maybe instant fusion. So if your opponent forces you to go first, you guys have to remember that this deck is tailored to go second with stuff like your Prankatrops, your Vishudas, and your Primal Beings, your Nibiru's. So the thing is, if your opponent forces you to go first, let's say game 2, what you'll do is a lot of the time you'll side in all these cards, and most of the cards in the side deck is to go first basically, so you can beat anything in the meta. So obviously this is again something like Sky Striker or Pendulum, you know, anti-spell and Imperial are really good. Then I play the Solemn package, Triple Judgment, Double Strike, and 1 Warning. This is again a package that when you're going first, really strong. These cards are actually insanely strong in this format, and again you can side out your Nibiru's, side out your instant fusion, your mind control, stuff like that for these cards. If you're playing for higher and put a bunch of back row in, your opponent's gonna be like, what the heck is going on here, right? Your opponent is not gonna side in spell or trap removal going second against the for higher deck, right? So the thing is, this does catch a lot of people off guard. So putting in all these like the floodgates, or not even the floodgates, these are floodgates, and then the judgments and like the solemns here is really good. Then these are kind of to go second. Reboot's also pretty good going first, but yeah, red reboot obviously against back row decks is really good. And then triple twin twister, same thing. I know you do have the recon to pop back row, but sometimes recon's not enough, so triple twin twister just to help against the back row deck. So this is pretty much for going second, but this is also really good against going first, and then obviously all this to go first. So I know this was a longer video, but if you guys enjoyed the for hire deck profile and my little take on for hire, let me know in the comment section down below. If you guys have any suggestions, obviously let me know in the comment section down below as well. I love taking you guys' suggestions. That's literally why I have the Discord, because you guys can check out the Discord and then let me know, like, this is what I want to hear. And again, also all my lists, because a lot of people ask, all my lists I put on Discord as well, so you guys can find all my lists if you guys want me to like write it out, or if you guys want to see it all in front of you. All of them are on Discord as well, so you guys could check that out. And for a lot of people that don't know for hire, that's kind of why I went more in depth with this, so you guys know what the cards do and how you can actually play this deck. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed like the video, subscribe to the channel, and with that, guys, Spanko signing out.
My hands steady, I feel ready, but my legs heavy, I don't get it. How come I haven't hit it already? Still working, I'm still learning, I'm still searching, finally earning something, finally turning something called a profit. If I hear you talking shit, don't get caught in it. I'll be popping off and hit your ass, dropping all your shit. Yeah, I promise this, I got promises, you ain't stopping this, cross my shit.